Welcome to the Lotus Goddess. We'd like to wish all of you a happy new year, happy 2020. So I'm just going to pull out some charms and see what messages comes through. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading. It's not a private reading. And we'll get started, okay? So I hope all of you are doing well. Let's see what messages comes through today. Thank you for leaving such wonderful comments and subscribing to my channel. Welcome if you are new to this channel. I like to see your messages. It's nice to hear about your journey and how these readings resonate for you. So the energy I'm getting from this reading it's for the divine masculine. There's a lot of changes that are happening here. I can see that the divine masculine, he's working. To be honest, I don't know where to begin because there's so many things that are going on in this reading, but I'll start with that. The divine masculine, he's working very hard at this time. He's trying to find inner strength within himself. I feel like there's a lot of planning that's happening right now. With this new year in January, I see there's a lot of changes that are happening. With the divine masculine, he's going through a lot of different changes here. I see that he's working very hard in planning. In some cases, the divine masculine, he's working very hard right now to plan a trip. This could be a trip for work, or he's working very hard to plan a move. Like he may be moving across, if you're living at a distance from your divine masculine, like say if you live in different states, he may be moving across. Like I see there's long distance travel here, or it could be country to country. Even there's a long distance travel, something having to do with quite a distance. There's long distance here. And because of that, the divine masculine, what I'm feeling is that he's just trying to get things in order. He's trying to find inner strength within himself so he can make this move. I feel like there's a little bit fear of the unknown, of what to expect. This divine masculine, in some cases, the divine masculine was the type who always had a plan. Like he always planned before he acted. But in this case, I feel like the divine masculine will be using his intuition to guide him. So this is something different that the divine masculine himself is not used to. um, I see there is like a sudden change in his like what I'm feeling is capability. um Even he has underestimated himself. Like he is not aware of his potential. He's not aware of his inner strength. He's not aware of his strength as a divine masculine. And these things will be revealed to the divine masculine. Like he's going to realize that he does have the strength within him to make these changes, to make, because you have to keep in mind that the divine masculine was living a life where he was used to routine. And this is coming out of that routine and living out of the ordinary. Because there has been divine intervention in this particular reading, like we have a tower moment right here and we have an angel right over here. Because of this divine intervention, it has shifted the divine masculines, not only energetically, but it also has transformed, is transforming his life. He is starting to see changes in his life, and there will be progression moving forward towards the divine feminine. Okay. I can see that there's a lot of growth that's going to be happening and is happening at this time. The divine masculine, he doesn't realize that the decisions, like, it's kind of like he doesn't know that he's going to be receiving the fruits of his labor, meaning that all the things that he was doing in his life most recently, like say if he was making certain decisions, making choices, and he wasn't quite sure as to why he was making those decisions, those were leading up to this moment. And right now he doesn't understand why he's making certain decisions or why he's being driven to go a certain direction, because he's being guided by his intuition, by divine, right? And because of that, he's kind of like confused, but he's starting to accept it. Like I feel like he's slowly starting to accept that deep inner knowing, that guidance, that voice that is guiding him through his path. And when he does start to see the fruits of his labor come into manifestation, that's when he will be more aware of why he did the things he did, because it led him to this point. So that's what I feel the divine masculine is going through right now. Um, Other things I can see here is that the divine masculine, um, because he's starting to slowly acknowledge and starting to be aware of his spiritual divine connection, his intuitive side. Um, what I'm feeling here is that his third eye is opening. Like his third eye, there was blockages. I feel like I might need to do a third eye chakra reading for this, because it did come up in a previous reading as well. But yes, there's something having to do with this third eye chakra, and that's really going to help him, guide him through his divine journey at this point. I can see there's a lot of movement here. There's a lot of things having to do with forward movement, travel. But with the divine masculine, when it comes to his uh like his spiritual growth, that is right now is kind of slow. Like that's moving at a slow pace at this time. So it's kind of like taking out the layers, like he's not fully blossomed into the divine masculine at this point, but it's kind of like the earlier stages of his inner knowing. Like I feel like this divine masculine is starting to wake up. Like I feel like he's starting to wake up. This year it seems like there's going to be changes for this divine masculine. I can see that he's going to be working towards stability. I feel like he is also going within. He will connect with the divine, with God. He will do a lot of reflection, inner work. Um, in some cases, the divine masculine has pushed his intuitive side aside, and his um like his divine purpose, his divine path aside as well. His spiritual side of himself, but now he's slowly starting to acknowledge it. He's slowly starting to accept it, and by accepting it, it's helping him become more aware of his gifts as a divine masculine. The divine masculine, he at this point he's not quite sure what decisions to make or what actions to take. I feel like he at this point he's being guided, and in the past the divine masculine has made decisions on his own without guidance, and now he is using his intuitive side. He's listening to that um his gut, like his you know it's like when you have that feeling within you, like, is this the right decision to make, or is this the right decision to take? Um that that gut feeling, he's starting to accept it. He's starting to acknowledge it, because in the past I feel like the divine masculine, in terms of his love for the divine feminine, when he knew deep within him that he needed to act, or times where he needed to come towards the divine feminine, he pushed those emotions, those feelings aside. And now he's starting to recognize that that decision that he made in the past was actually not the right decision to make. So now he's starting to listen to his intuitive side, and he's using that as a guide to help him, lead him to the right direction. He's unaware of the wish fulfillment. He's unaware of the blessings that are waiting for him. Um, but all he needs to do is just continue to move on this path, this journey with the divine, to cooperate, by fighting against his own intuitive self. That's just going to delay his progress. And at this point I feel like he is starting to slowly move towards um, his true authentic self. Other things I can see in this reading for the divine masculine, there's a darkness that surrounds his personal life, meaning his home life. That could be his living environment, or even some sort of connection with a close friend or family member. Um, I feel like there was somebody who may have intervened in some way in the past, when having to do with him and the divine feminine. But there's also divine intervention here as well. And what's going to happen is that this person is going to be pulled away from the divine masculine. Like there will no longer be that interference, because the divine has stepped in, okay? Um, there's no longer going to be that slow pace when it comes to um, the divine masculine having this halt. Like, uh, what I mean is that when the divine masculine had somebody intervening in his relationship with the divine feminine, his connection, it was causing a lot of delays and a lot of halt. Like there was a lot of like walls that were put up. And now that the divine has stepped in and is going to and has in some cases removed that obstacle from his life in terms of whoever was interfering in his divine connection, that's going to remove the delays, and it's going to remove those walls that were put up between the divine masculine and divine feminine. I can see here that pride is going to be removed as well. Um, there was a lot of pride and like egotistical behavior that was involved on the divine masculine side, and in some cases, unfortunately, in some cases, the divine feminine had also experienced some sort of pride as well. Like, say, if the divine masculine did something, for example, and in some cases, the divine feminine is like, well, if the divine masculine did this, I can also do this. Like, I'll show him. Um, what I'm feeling is that in some cases, not all, okay, not all cases, but I'm just giving an example. For instance, like say if the divine masculine went and dated somebody, and because of that pride, in some cases, the divine feminine may have said, well, if the divine masculine is dating somebody, I can also date somebody. That thing is being removed from the divine feminine at this point. Okay, those who have held on to that energy, that is being released now. Okay, so that's being cleared out on the divine masculine side, and it's being cleared out on the divine feminine side as well. There's still some transformation that's happening for the divine masculine. As I mentioned earlier, he's not fully um, blossomed yet as a divine masculine into his true emperor power. Um, he's still in those like early stages, and this is because there's still a lot of residue from his previous relationship with the karmic. Okay, I see there's still some karmic energy that's lingering in this reading. um, what I'm feeling is the divine masculine, he was hurt, he was really hurt badly. Okay, the divine masculine, he was actually those who experienced the tower moment with a karmic partner. This has put them in quite a shock, and I feel like this may have happened in the end of like sometime in December, and that energy has pulled. Unfortunately, it's still there. Um, the divine masculine, I feel like the wound is still not healed yet. The energy still surrounds the divine masculine in terms of the pain, and I feel like there has been betrayal involved too with the karmic energy, but that's part of the path, that's part of the journey, because that's only going to help the divine masculine grow as into his authentic self, right? So he needed to experience that. Um, so the divine masculine, he hasn't fully released. In some cases, the divine masculine hasn't fully released that. I wouldn't call it love, but it's that attachment to the karmic energy. Okay, he's kind of like in a denial that it happened. Like he is kind of in a shock. Um, it feels like the divine masculine is still in a shock from what happened between him and the karmic partner. Because you have to keep in mind that the divine masculine, in many cases, he was wearing kind of like a blindfold, like he was not aware of the um, the karmic relationship, right? He thought that this is, in some cases, he thought maybe this is the one. And now that that the blindfold has come off, I can see that the divine masculine is trying his best to let go of whatever he experienced with the karmic energy. However, it still needs to be released, and it will be released naturally. He is being protected by the divine. Being protected by angels, by his guide, guardian angel, and it's just going to be released naturally. It's kind of like an example I can give is that if you love somebody, you can't just turn off those feelings like a light switch, right? It has to be gradual, it has to be natural. Though the divine masculine has been hurt quite badly, he still has some feelings for this karmic energy, and but he is aware that that needs to be released, and he's doing his best to let that go. Once he clears out that energy from his self, he's able to open up to the divine love, to divine his divine partner, the divine feminine. Okay. At this point, I don't see the divine masculine reaching out to the divine feminine because he's still healing, and there's still planning that he's doing. This these plans that he the plans involve work, it involves travel, it involves his lifestyle. There's a lot of things that the divine masculine has on his plate at the moment. These are like really important, life changing decisions that the divine masculine is making. And usually he has a plan. I feel like he's trying to plan, but he's using his intuition as well. So he's kind of feeling like confused with not knowing exactly um, how it's going to play out. Like he's kind of, I feel like he's kind of fearful of the unknown. Um, but yeah, he's just working on himself, on his own progress, and on his plans to whatever he can do at this point to move his life forward. I just see forward movement. I see a lot of forward movement. I see travel. I see, um, but at the same time, there is slow movement in terms of um, his like family life, and then there's also slow movement when it has to do with that release of that emotion that he has from the karmic situation. I can see here that the divine masculine, he had some sort of discussion with somebody regarding this karmic energy that he was involved with, and whoever he had this discussion with, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, but they really guided him on how um, to let that incident or let that situation or person go. So I feel like he got some small advice from somebody, and it could be that even the divine masculine didn't openly ask for advice. He could have been like, "Oh, I know somebody who's going through this situation. What do you think he should do?" Like he could have said it as if he's speaking on behalf of somebody else, just to get some clarity, just to get somebody's input. Um, Even with a workmate, like he could have mentioned briefly to a workmate, "Oh, I have this friend who's going through this tough time, like what do you think I should tell him?" Like that sort of thing. I just see that the divine masculine, he's really trying to clear out that negative energy, and he's going through some kind of purge and some type of purification. I just see some cleansing happening here, and that's really important at this time. Okay. Um, I can also see here that there's when it has to do with the travel, the divine masculine is planning to bring some sort of gift. This could be some sort of, it could be an actual physical gift, or it could be a gift as in like what I feel like he's going to be presenting the divine feminine with some sort of offer, okay, to take their connection to the next level. So that could be like to rebuild their relationship, some sort of um, offer that it's like a gift, like it's like giving something as a surprise. That's what I feel. He's planning some sort of surprise, and he's planning to offer some sort of gift. So it could be a physical gift, or it could be just like something that he's offering to the divine feminine that is beautiful, like a gift, like that. What could be more beautiful than offering to reconnect with the divine feminine, as to have a steady committed relationship, right? At this point, the divine masculine, I feel like he is just trying to figure out a way how to get out of some sort of obstacle so that he can go towards the divine feminine. Right now, that is not clear. He's unsure of how to do that. And that's where the divine will step in and also guide the divine masculine. But at this point, he needs to heal. There's still cleansing that's happening, purging that's happening regarding his karmic experience. And once he gets through that, he's just thinking of how to maneuver his way out of wherever he is at, and how to get to the divine feminine. That's not clear yet, but I see travel that's going to take place here in this reading, whoever this resonates for. And I do see in the future for this divine masculine, there will be some sort of solid commitment leading to engagement or marriage. The divine masculine, there's also something that I see in this reading. Um, right now, I feel like he dodged a situation, like something was about to happen to the divine masculine or had happened, and he had dodged a situation. He considers himself very lucky. I feel like the divine masculine feels like he is very lucky that he was able to stop something from happening, or prevent something from happening. Um, I see that there was some sort of confrontation that took place. There was some sort of heated discussion, and the divine masculine. I feel like he was very direct to that person, that individual, whoever it was, and he just put his foot down, and he was just very firm, and he just confronted this individual. um he had to find inner strength within him to actually act, and I feel like he gave it at that moment, he gave it his all, in order to pull back from the connection for whoever it was with, whoever he was talking to. Um, he had to disconnect, not only from a karmic situation, but I feel like there could have been another individual involved as well, that was not working in his favor. Like it could have been somebody was holding him back from progressing in life. He also confronted that individual as well. Okay, so this is the reading I got for today. If it did resonate with you, please give a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I always like to hear from you guys. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.